And no!
Never let that belt out of your hands. Coach, bring that belt back and give it to Jack Della Maddalena. You hold that thing while you can be in the routine.
And no! Undisputed UFC!
The UFC 315 is finally over, and the fans witness an epic main event clash between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. Before the fight, Jack Della Maddalena believed he could submit Belal Muhammad. While he acknowledged Belal's well-rounded skill set and grappling-heavy approach, JDM felt confident in his striking and believed his underrated grappling could surprise Belal. He even suggested that if Belal tried to smother him on the ground, he might catch him with a submission.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty well-rounded, but I think his big key to victory is like always trying to implement his wrestling, try and strike, and then if he has got the upper hand, or if he believes he's got the upper hand in the grappling, he'll push for that. He's able to hold people down. But yeah, I definitely feel like I've got the better striking. I do think I've got some good grappling that he might be not prepared for. So I might try and be able to pull out like a submission at some point if he lays on me for too long.
However, Belal Muhammad was also confident that he would deliver a striking masterclass against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 315. He boldly stated that he wouldn't attempt a single takedown during the fight. Instead, he planned to outbox Jack and showcase what he called Canelo hands. Belal aimed to prove he was the best boxer in the UFC's welterweight division.
I'm going to go in there, I'm going to outbox Jack, I'm not going to shoot one takedown, and I'm going to show him the meaning of Canelo hands. I'm going to show the UFC fighters, the fans, that I'm the best boxer in the UFC, the best boxer in the welterweight division. Trust me, you guys want to tune in, don't miss it.
Jack Della Maddalena thought his power and skill would be factors that Belal Muhammad hadn't dealt with before. He felt he had more precision, accuracy, power, and overall ability. Jack also mentioned that he had more dog in him, referring to his toughness and determination, and emphasized that Belal hadn't fought anyone like him in his career. Jack felt confident that he brought a unique challenge to the fight.
He's fought some good strikers, but do you think your power is like the X factor here that maybe he hasn't dealt with some of these other guys?
Yeah, I think I've got more precision, accuracy, power, the whole lot. I think I've got more dog in me. I think he hasn't fought someone like me. I've fought people like him my whole career. He's never fought someone like me.
On the other hand, Belal Muhammad confidently predicted his fight with Jack Della Maddalena would unfold in his favor. He expected Jack's coach to suggest wrestling in the second round after Jack struggled to box. When Jack shot for a takedown, Belal planned to sprawl, mockingly look at Daniel Cormier, and make the best boxer in the UFC gesture. Belal anticipated landing more punches, stuffing a takedown, throwing Jack off the fence, landing a body shot to drop him, and then telling him to stand up. He planned to finish the fight by feinting a jab to the body and landing an overhand.
Rounds first, how do you see yourself defending your title in Canada?
I see me coming out the first round, implementing my boxing, showing him that I got better hands than him. And then he's going to go into the second round. His coach is going to look at him like, bro, I thought you were a boxer. Then he's going to look at him like, no, I don't know what to do. Should I start wrestling? Then his coach is going to be like, all right, start wrestling. So then second round, he's going to come out, shoot a takedown on me. I'm going to sprawl. Then I'm going to look at him and I'm going to laugh. Then I'm going to look at DC and do the Max Holloway. I'm the best boxer in the UFC. Then I'm going to hit him with a couple more hands. And then he's not going to know what to do again. So he's going to shoot another single leg. I'm going to turn, throw him off the fence, hit him with a body shot. He's going to drop. I'm going to look at him, point to him, tell him to stand up again. The ref's going to tell me like, yo, we need action here. Then I'm gonna feint the jab to the body and go overhand, and then he's gonna drop.
Belal Muhammad said Jack Della Maddalena wouldn't be able to keep up with his boxing. He called himself the best striker, grappler, wrestler, and overall fighter at welterweight. Belal pointed to his dominant performance against Leon Edwards as proof and promised to make it look easy on May 10th. He said people keep doubting him, but he always proves them wrong. He warned Jack is leaving the kiddie pool and stepping into the deep end, and it's going to be a bad night.
Will I be able to be standing? No. Will he be able to be keeping up with my boxing? I have the best striker in the welterweight division. I'm the best grappler. I'm the best wrestler. I'm the best fighter. You've seen it. Leon Edwards, he was the next one up. He was the GOAT. He knocked out Kamaru Usman, and I made it look easy. I'm going to make it look easy May 10th. People are just going to keep doubting me, and I'm just going to keep breaking those barriers. I'm going to keep showing you guys I'm the best fighter in the world. He's coming out of the kiddie pool, and he's going straight into the deep end of the ocean. This is going to be a bad night for him. And you guys are going to see it May 10th.
Meanwhile, Ian Gary was very confident that Belal Muhammad would defeat Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 315. He emphasized that as the fight progressed, the advantage would shift to Belal due to his relentless pace and grinding style. Gary called Belal a workhorse who thrived in gritty fights, constantly applying pressure and staying in his opponent's face. He mentioned seeing Jack get dominated by less skilled grapplers and believed that Belal, being elite in that department, would wear him down. Gary expected Belal to secure a finish in the 3rd or 4th round if Jack made it that far.
Every minute that goes by, it puts Belal in a better position because he just is a workhorse. He's a grinder. He will grab a hold of you. He will be in your grill. He will make it ugly. He will slam you. He will just constantly be there. And I've watched Jack get ragdolled by people that aren't as good as Belal. And Belal is one of the best in the world at playing the game Belal does. I think stylistically he gets his hand raised, and I think he gets a finish in the later rounds. I think if Jack can survive till 3 or 4, I think that's when the finish will come.
The UFC legend Georges St-Pierre also broke down the matchup between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena, saying Belal had more tools to win. He described Belal as the complete package, skilled in all areas with an awkward striking style that threw off many opponents. GSP acknowledged that Jack was on a strong winning streak and had momentum, making it an exciting and competitive fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Belal he's the complete package. He's good everywhere, and he's got a very awkward style that throw a lot of people off, especially standing up and striking department. And Jake on the other side, he's on a tear. He's got a good momentum. He's on a winning streak, and it's gonna be an interesting fight.
Georges St-Pierre pointed out that Jack Della Maddalena could have the advantage in the striking department. However, he emphasized that this wasn't just a boxing match, it was mixed martial arts. GSP believed that's where Belal Muhammad could take advantage, as he had more tools to win. Still, he acknowledged that having more tools didn't guarantee a win. The outcome would depend on how their styles matched up against each other.
On the one side, Jake, I think he could have the advantages in the striking department, but it's not only a kickboxing match, it's mixed martial art, and that's when I believe if I'm Belal Muhammad, that's where you take advantage of it. I think he's got more tools to win, but that doesn't mean he's gonna win. So it's all about how they're gonna match their style against each other.
Former UFC champion Kamaru Usman expressed confidence that Jack Della Maddalena was always destined to fight for the UFC welterweight title. When asked by Henry Cejudo whether Jack truly stood a chance against a well-rounded opponent, Usman responded without hesitation, saying, "Yes, absolutely." He praised Jack's calm demeanor inside the octagon, noting that his composure made him tough to break mentally. Usman also highlighted Jack's persistence, comparing it to fighters who keep rising no matter how many times they're taken down, something he found especially frustrating as a wrestler. He saw that same unshakable determination in Jack.
Jack Della Maddalena is going to be fighting for the UFC welterweight title.
Do you really give JDM a shot against a guy that mixes his fighting?
I do. I absolutely do. He's so relaxed to where it's very, very hard to beat him, to discourage him from trying. There are some guys to where you can take down 50 million times, they're still going to keep trying to get up. And as wrestlers, we know how annoying that is.
Kamaru Usman believed that Jack Della Maddalena's best chance of victory against Belal Muhammad Muhammad lay in staying aggressive and mixing up his striking. Usman emphasized that it wasn't about wrestling or takedowns, but about using variety and pushing forward. He praised Jack's composure under pressure, saying it allowed him to stay sharp in tough situations. Usman pointed to Jack's fight with Gilbert Burns as an example, where despite being controlled and taken down, Jack kept getting back up, landing shots, and always trying to shift the momentum in his favor.
Keys to victory for a guy like JDM.
He's just got to mix it up. When I say mix it up, I don't mean shooting him for takedowns. I mean, he's got to go forward and he's got to mix up his strikes. That's the one thing that I like about this guy. He's so relaxed. He sees the pressure come. He's able to sidestep or just kind of relax in there. In fights like the Gilbert Burns fight, Gilbert was winning that fight. Gilbert was taking him down, controlling him, but he never stopped trying. When he got up to his feet, he was able to land certain things to try to make him pay.
Former UFC champion Jamahal Hill shared his thoughts on the Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena fight, predicting a win for Belal. While he acknowledged Jack's toughness and strong boxing, Hill pointed out that Jack struggled with closing the distance. He believed that if Belal could control the range, it would force Jack to work harder to close the gap, which would play into Belal's strengths. By maintaining distance and incorporating his grappling, Hill felt Belal could control the pace and put Jack at a disadvantage.
No question, I gotta go with Belal Muhammad. Jack is a beast, and he does present some problems as far as with the boxing and things like that go. But I believe his one of his deficiencies is covering distance. I mean, closing the distance and closing the range. So I believe if Belal keeps a good distance in between, it makes him actually have to work to get to him. It'll make it easier for him to get, to get off into what he likes to do, which is make people work and put them in that blender work piece and with punches and then the grappling.
The lightweight fighter Beneil Dariush acknowledged the skill set of the welterweight champion Belal Muhammad. According to Dariush, Belal wasn't getting the credit he deserved. He believed Belal held a clear advantage in the grappling department and wasn't far behind in striking either. Dariush thought Belal could hold his own on the feet with Jack Della Maddalena and had the well-rounded tools to compete wherever the fight went.
Bro, Belal is so good. Like, you have to, I think people need to start recognizing his skill set. I think he has an advantage, big advantage, I would say, in the grappling. And he's not really behind in the striking. Like, I don't see like anything wrong where he would struggle too much with the striking. His striking is just fine. I think he would be able to, stand in his own with JDM as long as he needs to.
The eternal middleweight champion, Darcy Vendy, also weighed in on the matchup between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. Vendy saw it as a toss-up. If Jack ended up on his back, things could get tough for him, but if the fight stayed standing, Belal might struggle to keep up. He believed the simpler, more achievable game plan was for Jack to stuff takedowns rather than Belal securing them. In the end, Vendy was backing his fellow Aussie to get the job done.
You are the last guy to get your arm raised against him, and he's got an upcoming championship bout in the UFC. How do you think that goes? What's your prediction?
I think it could honestly go one way or the other. I think if it ends up with Jack on his back, he's probably going to have a hard time. And I think if it stays standing, Belal's going to get what's given to him. But I think the easier to execute game plan is definitely Jack defending the takedowns. I think Belal has a tangibly harder time getting that job done than Jack ever will. I reckon Australia's going to have it.
I think so too, yes.
Sean Brady also shared his thoughts on the matchup between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. Having fought Belal previously, Brady had been rooting for him, as Belal's success only made his own loss look better. While acknowledging Jack's knockout power and toughness, Brady believed that Belal always found a way to win and predicted that Belal would come out on top in the fight. Brady also mentioned that if Belal lost, he would be open to fighting him for the #1 contender spot in the future.
I've been rooting for Belal since he beat me, of course. The better he does, the better it makes my loss look to him, He went out, he beat Leon, and now he's fighting Jack, which Jack's a super tough fight. I was getting ready for Jack for our fight before when I had to pull out, and I know how good Jack is, and Jack can knock anybody out in the world, but you can't bet against Belal. He finds ways to win, and I think he's going to win that one. And of course, I want him to be champion when we fight again. But if for some reason he does lose, I would fight him for a #1 contender. So yeah, there's options out there.
Carlos Prates picked Belal Muhammad to win and didn't see the fight as difficult for him. He said Belal was the stronger, more complete fighter. Prates pointed out that Jack's best win was a close fight with Kevin Holland. He also noted Jack was losing to Gilbert Burns before his late comeback.
Well, the fight is really good, you know. The fighting is really good, but I think Belal gonna win, you know. The Jack Della Maddalena looks a good fighter, but he fought like Kevin Holland, like really good guys, you know, on the rank. He fought one time Kevin Holland, and he won by split decision. And then he fought another guy, I don't remember the name. He even is not anymore in UFC.
Yeah.
And then he fought Gilbert Burns, and he was lost in the fight, you know. And on the last minute, he won the fight. Okay, it's good.
Welterweight fighter Jeff Neal believed Belal Muhammad had Jack Della Maddalena's number. He pointed out that Jack had shown signs of gassing out and making fights harder than they needed to be. Neal thought Belal's pressure would overwhelm Jack. He expected Belal to smother him over 5 rounds.
Yeah, I think Belal's got his number. I mean, it depends on, like, because I've seen Jack like gas out and, you know what I mean, like make fights that he should be winning like significantly harder, but he's not going to be able to get away with that with Belal. I feel like Belal's just going to smother him for 5 rounds.
Elijah Smith thought Belal Muhammad would win. He said Belal had strong pressure and was better at striking. Elijah pointed out that Belal did well in the stand-up against Leon Edwards and moved at a fast pace like Khabib. He also said that even though Jack Della Maddalena handled Gilbert Burns' jiu-jitsu, Belal's pressure would be much harder to deal with.
I think Belal. Yeah. I think Belal, his ongoing pressure, and truth be told, I mean, not even truth be told, but I do feel like Belal's striking has gotten a lot better. Like when he was when he fought Leon Edwards, I thought he was getting the better of Leon on the feet. So yeah, I feel like he goes out there and does the same thing, and he has that more. You know, I think people talk about like Jack Della Maddalena fight with Gilbert. What's his name? Gilbert Burns, and they talk about the jiu-jitsu and how he was able to stop the jiu-jitsu and get back up to his feet. I just think Belal has more of that drive where it's like kind of like Khabib-esque, which is kind of harder to deal with. Eddie Cha called the matchup a tough one, but expressed admiration for Jack Della Maddalena. He praised Jack's boxing and striking as phenomenal, yet ultimately gave a slight edge to Belal Muhammad, believing he was the more complete mixed martial artist.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I love Jack Della Maddalena's boxing, his striking is phenomenal, but Belal I think is I think he's better overall in MMA, but slight edge to Belal maybe.
Torres Finney shared his thoughts on the matchup, siding with Belal Muhammad. He believed many people underestimated Belal's skill set and consistency, while acknowledging JDM's dangerous boxing and knockout power, especially in his comeback against Gilbert Burns. Finney emphasized Belal's well-rounded game, particularly his wrestling and relentless pace. In his view, Belal was a better wrestler than both Gilbert and JDM, and he didn't see JDM being able to stop the takedowns or get back up once grounded. He expected the fight to resemble Belal's bout with Leon Edwards.
That's a great fight. But I'm going Belal Muhammad. I think a lot of people sleep on Belal. He's really good overall. Yes, JDM has great boxing. Yes, he can put you out, as we saw, you know, even when he was down 2 rounds to nothing against Gilbert Burns, what he did. But Belal Muhammad, I mean, he's an all-around fighter. He's got the wrestling, his pace. I don't think he'll be able to stop those takedowns because, in my opinion, I think Belal Muhammad's a better wrestler than Gilbert Burns. I think Burns is a better overall grappler, but as a wrestler, he's a better wrestler than JDM, and I don't see JDM really being able to get up. I can see this very similar to how it went with Leon Edwards.
Well, UFC 315 has now come to a close, and the fight between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena lived up to the hype. Both fighters showcased their unique skill sets, with Jack's striking and Belal's relentless pace making for a thrilling contest. As expected, the fight featured a strategic battle, with each fighter trying to impose their game plan. The action-packed matchup left fans excited and looking forward to what's next for both of these talented welterweights.